Okay, so we have actually discovered what could be a true story of, well, by the way, Shigemaru 246 LP, Gary Riva, Jared, Chris, etc.
Whatever you want to call us, we personally don't care.
Yeah. We have actually discovered what could be a possible theory to who exactly Ash Ketchum's father is from the Pokemon anime. Go ahead.
And it may not surprise most of you because it's most likely red.
Yeah, because we have actually discovered some things that could point to that.
If you exclude yellow from being an actual game that could prove points.
Well, originally Yellow was supposed to be the story of a girl who had to rescue Red and save the world from the Elite Four. That's said in the manga, but that's a different topic.
Right.
Pretty,
Just exclude that from your mind at this point.
yeah, pretty much. It could be that Red is Ash's father because first we have no one knows like what the time difference is between the anime and the games. So, in such, it could be that with Red and Blue, when they were younger, well, when they grew up, they had kids, yada yada, and those kids could have been Ash and Gary. Because if you realize, in the anime, Gary does not have a sister, yet in the games, Blue did. And in such, even though there is that whole thing with the fourth Pokemon movie of Professor Oak, which could be Blue, doesn't look anything like Blue did. Exclude that because we have ways that can make that totally irrelevant.
Right.
Want to continue for me?
Well,
You got this part.
Which part are we on?
On the part that could about like the whole reason why Red's on Mount
Right.
Silver and stuff.
Okay, so Red, he wanted to go through and have his experience, and he did. And he wanted to make his Pikachu extremely powerful, and he had a kid. So he wanted to make sure that when his journey was done, he could pass his Pikachu on to his child, and that it would be strong enough for the child to actually be able to thrive in the beginning and not get his ass kicked like a total moron, which ends up happening anyways. But anyways, so what he did, he went on to Mount Silver and
I think
trained.
that's what it's called.
Yeah, Mount Silver, and trained until his Pikachu was, as you know, in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Gold, Silver, all that, level 80. And thus, when he had been defeated, whatever you want to choose, by the hero in Gold, he thus gave his Pikachu to Professor Oak to save until Ash was ready to take the Pikachu and create his own adventure with it.
Yeah, like I think he just said. That explains why Pikachu is so overpowered. And in such, like, there's also a theory that this could be of why Pikachu also doesn't like being in the Pokeball. There are two outcomes that this could have been. One, Pikachu just doesn't like the Pokeball whatsoever because that was the last time he ever saw Red was when he got put in the Pokeball. Or two, he was forced into this, and when he came out in Professor Oak's lab, he's like, what the hell? I was abandoned. And so he thinks that if he goes back into the Pokeball, he will be abandoned by Ash. That is a good possible outcome.
Right.
There was more.
There was more.
Yes, there was.
Bear with us.
Yes. We're actually kind of know this part when we're thinking about it.
Yeah, okay, so...
God, I know how to do that now, thank God.
Okay, that... Sorry, guys. Screen, but...
But we need to also cut the audio or shit, I forgot how to do that.
Fuck!
Oh, we're not freaking yet.
Anyways, fuck nuggets! Where were we?
I know it does have to do with, Blue being Professor... Oh, yeah. Also, with, many of you may think that, oh, it couldn't possibly be because during the games, if that was how it was, Ash would why is that? If Ash is 10 years old, 10, why is it that in the games Blue Blue is a gym leader and Red is on Mount Silver and Professor Oak's an old guy. Who knows exactly how like I said before, how long of a time span is it between the games and the anime? Because, in my opinion, I am actually thinking that the mother of Gary could actually have been Green, who was actually the original name for Gary in the Japanese version of the games. But in the US, Green was the girl that you get to play as in Fire Red and Leaf Green. So, in the games, Professor Oak there is the grandfather of Blue, in which later on, after Blue retired,
would it be the father of Blue because he's the grandfather of Gary?
Oh yeah. After Gary retired as a gym leader, he married Green, had a kid.
Blue retired as a gym leader.
God damn. Sorry, this is the freaking paradoxes.
Yeah.
Freaking Blue retired as gym leader, married Green, had Gary, and Red did the same thing. After his journey was done, he knocked up some chick.
Which we now know as Ash's mom.
Yeah, Delia. And
I can't raise one eyebrow. Sweet.
I can't.
Anyways, bad side note. Back to where we were going.
Yeah. Yeah, so Delia gave birth to Ash, which leads into the whole Pikachu thing. Because if you notice, Delia apparently knew Ash's father when he was a kid, which could also actually leave it to somehow Delia being Yellow, the original Yellow, because apparently in the manga Yellow has a crush on Ash or Red.
Once again, he's not very good at this whole figuring out who's who in the whole paradox system.
Yeah.
So bear with him.
Yeah. Holy crap, 8 minutes. But so, god damn, this sucks. But okay, so
we'll just leave it as it is. They can deal.
Yeah, you guys can deal with it because this is informational. So yeah, Delia could actually be Yellow because, for all we know, Yellow. Well, okay, as we know, if you've read the manga, Yellow, she may had yellow hair, but that's not the point.
Could have easily been dyed to brown for the anime.
Yeah, like later on in life, her hair could turn brown. Her hair was somewhat resemblance to Delia's, except for the ponytail, which didn't like curve up into a loop; it just went straight down. But as I was saying before, the whole Yellow spiel, Yellow or Delia knew Red, in which because when they were younger, and it could be that the reason why Delia and Ash's Pikachu like each other so much, like they were so used to each other, is because Yellow hung out with Red's Pikachu, which is now Ash's.
Right, and thus, if they were in the games where you play as Red, when you were done, the children Ash and Gary would just show up probably as child sprites in the town or near the town. And thus, you wouldn't notice that they would have a kid because they wouldn't address you as such, since, Game Freak's not much into showing paternal and maternal things into video games because no one's related in that game whatsoever.
Exactly. But, once again, I was trying to figure out. Oh yeah, Ash's father was. If anyone ever noticed, throughout the whole Pokemon series, Ash's father is only mentioned twice. Once in episode 1, and then again when Ash first gets to the Viridian City Hospital, Pokemon Center, whatever. So
Doesn't matter. For our
yeah.
purposes, it's the same thing.
Yeah. So there's also that theory, in which the points in which it may look like Ash was making Pikachu stronger, one with Misty's destroyed bike, and the other at Pewter City after he lost to.
It could be that he was trying to supercharge him. We can't say that he wasn't. But what if he was Red's Pikachu? He would have immense power, but he would have to stay in a Pokeball for years until Ash was ready to handle him, and thus, being inactive, had lost his power and needed a boost to regain it and go back to full power through the bike and the water wheel.
Exactly. And we all know starter Pokemon start at level 5. There is no way a Pikachu could ever learn Thunderbolt. Well, it starts off with Thundershock. Well, Thunderbolt and some other moves. As far as I know, it only starts off with Thundershock and Growl in Pokemon Yellow. So, the fact that he knew Thunderbolt and, hell, even Thunder by, I believe, somewhere in episode 30.
It would have taken much longer to figure that out because the leveling system in the show takes such a long time. It's really, there's no grinding point, so there's no learning moves very fast. He would have had to have known them prior to those episodes. Just Ash didn't know how to use them yet until he figured out Ash could use them.
Yeah, though it is kind of confusing with the whole leveling thing in the show, because, I mean, I guess the TM thing doesn't really count.
Right.
Because Ash had to physically teach Pikachu how to use Iron Tail. Which,
right.
I know there's one. Oh yeah. What was the one point? Now, I don't think this was mentioned, but if you're thinking, at the point, why couldn't Pikachu just like burst out of the Pokeball when if he was forced by Red? If you notice, there's a little lightning bolt like right above the button on the Pokeball. It could be that was like a specially made seal made by Red, or maybe, yeah, probably by Red, so that Pikachu,
or someone he trusted, or it could be that Pikachu respected him enough that he would show a sign like a charm that he was safe as long as he stayed in the ball, so he wouldn't try to get break free, even though he obviously could.
Yes. Now
conspiracy theories.
Yeah. Now a lot of you most likely are wondering one huge stepping point in this. Misty, Brock, Lieutenant Surge, Koga, everyone, all the freaking gym leaders. How could they all be the same in the anime and the games? Well, or anime, games, and manga, I guess. If you read the manga and then seen the show and then played the games, if you notice, everyone looks different. Koga, Lieutenant Surge, Sabrina, Blaine, and Giovanni, of course, they were all part of Team Rocket in the manga. But in the anime, they have nothing against them. They barely know who they are. Because even though it's stated that Red defeated all of Team Rocket, which could lead to the fact that in the anime, Ash is taking over Red's position, and the reason why he only runs into Jesse, James, Meowth, Cassidy, and Butch is because they could be like the only Team Rocket members left.
Right. And Giovanni could be someone that's being a figurehead and leading under a false pretense.
Exactly. And also with Misty and Brock, in the manga, Misty looks nothing like the Misty in the anime that we know. In fact, in the manga, I do believe Misty was actually a few years older then. and she had no sisters. Well, in the anime, she did, and Brock, he wasn't like a total womanizer, which it could be that Brock is actually,
Brock Jr.
Yeah, because
Same with Misty. It could be that they just liked the name and wanted to pass it on. So, although it's not said, the anime could be Ash, Brock Jr., and Misty Jr., and thus Misty and Brock were taking over their parents' place, and thus figured out that Red was related to Ash, and that they had heard about Red through their parents, and thus wanted to stick with Ash.
yeah, and also, it could be that Brock's father. Now, nobody ever caught this. Like I did personally. That in one of the episodes within Pewter City, Ash refers to Flint as Mr. Flint. Now, a lot of times people do not address the word Mr. and then use a person's first name. So it could be that Brock's last name could be Flint, though a lot of people speculate that's not. Because if you notice, Ash, Professor Oak, and slightly a few others, no one else has a last name in Pokemon. So, in which let's just end this here because I know we probably figure out some other stuff, but that's
if I have any follow up information, you'll be the first to know.
Yeah,
obvious.
Yeah,
and I just realized there was freaking Pringles on your
yeah.
There.
There's like Pringle cans everywhere. But anyway, yes, we have now. That is our theory of who Ash's father could be, and how Red is linked to the anime. Though we aren't entirely sure about.
We're still ironing out. We just figured this out tonight, so we will probably crease it out. And I may not be here when he does it. Yeah. I may be here. Depends if it's on a weekend. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I'm kind of, comedic relief. Weird fucker that you're gonna have to get used to.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's what we found out. That's what we connected. Like we said, we're not saying this is how it is.
Right. This is just one possible theory, as there are hundreds upon thousands.
Yeah. Don't expect us to go into the fucking Zelda timeline. Fuck that.
I don't even know anything about Zelda, so.
Yeah, we ain't going to the freaking Zelda timeline, so even if you beg us, we are not doing that.
But if you do have any other theories that you want to test, we will put in the time and effort, and we will see what we can find evidence for. We kind of like doing this kind of our thing, so.
Yeah.
So any suggestions would be helpful.
Except the Zelda timeline theory.
Exactly. Anything that has to do with Zelda, just forget it now. It's out of your head.
Yeah. So, thanks for watching this, if anyone does watch it. But holy crap, we have to go.